curious. Have you ever noticed how you sometimes carry a persistent sense of physical resistance or sudden flashes of anxiety that simply don't map to anything you've actually lived through? We usually try to think our way out of these patterns, or we try to trace them back to early childhood dynamics. But more often than not, those intellectual exercises leave the physical tension exactly where it was. To actually untangle these stubborn, energetic knots, we have to look past the playground, past our earliest spoken memories, and examine the absolute first moment of our physical existence. The working theory here is that your deepest emotional baseline was coded into your structure right at the point of your biological creation. This exact fraction of a second is called fetal integration. It's the precise window where your arriving consciousness actually merged with a newly developing physical form. As we see in this diagram mapping the base of the human spine, the memory of that initial merge doesn't just float in the ether, it's physically archived right here, stored directly within the first 8 cells of creation your body grew out of. That earliest blueprint sits dormant inside your physical wiring right now, quietly influencing how you connect with your body and process the world around you every day. And as this visualization shows, a spark of pure, expansive consciousness merging into a microscopic cell structure is rarely a peaceful arrival. It is a highly restrictive process as energy forces its way into localized matter. The source material notes that this sudden compression creates a distinct triad of emotional shock. The first imprint is a profound sadness, an immediate, deep separation from a highly connected family of consciousness left behind. Following right behind that separation is sheer terror. It is the raw fear of dropping into a reality characterized by high density, physical limitation, and a severe drop in ambient awareness. This culminates in a strong, visceral reaction, an energetic fight against the entire process. The arriving consciousness often pushes back fiercely, rebelling against being confined within a physical vessel. Add up the shock of separation, the terror of density, and the refusal to be contained, you get a deeply ingrained unconscious pattern. It leaves many of us carrying a lifelong, invisible resentment toward our own physical bodies. Beyond the internal struggle of the soul, this integration also happens within a highly active external environment. As it enters, the consciousness acts like a sponge, absorbing the exact energetic state of the parents at the moment of conception. Whether that union was full of joy, totally indifferent, or heavily conflicted, the incoming soul records that frequency. But there is an even denser layer. This diagram represents the incoming pure consciousness as a clear, central sphere of light. When it arrives, it inherits what is known as a karmic overlay, unresolved ancestral issues held in the parent's own energetic fields. Instead of remaining clear, that light is forced to navigate through these pre-existing frameworks. Generations of parental traumas and heavy behavioral patterns energetically wrap around the arriving consciousness, suppressing its natural high frequency. These tight entanglements form miasms. They are literal energetic knots where the soul's innate power gets stripped away and obscured by the distortions of the biological lineage. This means the most intractable emotional burdens dragging you down might not even belong to you. They are often a heavy inherited coat thrown over your original state long before you took your first breath. Knowing all of this structurally is interesting, but intellectually analyzing your fetal trauma will not do a single thing to clear it. The primary rule of release is that the physical blueprint cannot change until the emotional body actually feels what the mind has discovered. You have to intentionally invite those ancient sensations back into your present awareness. That means sitting with the overwhelming sadness, the terror, or even raw physical impulses like wanting to aggressively push away. By leaning directly into the discomfort, you engage the trapped energy inside those inherited miasms. Once the emotion physically surfaces, the knot becomes unstuck, giving you the leverage to consciously direct that stagnant energy out of your body. Leaning into these intense physical sensations acts as the necessary trigger to finally discharge the oldest, deepest frequencies in our field. To assist in clearing these fractured parental imprints, the source material introduces a specific visualization tool centered around the concept of the Earth Mother. The practice involves visualizing your fetal self suspended not within the biological mother, but held directly within the core energy of the planet. It is an exercise in reparenting, soaking in pure, unconditionally supportive frequencies. Connecting to this vast, non-judgmental stability provides the alternative foundation you need. It creates an energetic environment safe enough to finally release those inherited layers of terror and resistance for good. This personal work carries a structural consequence for the planet. Our individual time vectors are effectively nodes within a global grid network. Because of this interconnection, clearing your own biological blueprint sends a corrective pulse outward, untangling distortions across the Earth's energetic grid. The resolution of your personal birth trauma functions as a service to the whole, actively untangling distortions in the collective human timeline. To learn the precise steps for navigating this release, stream the full episode of the podcast.